Welcome, my name is Julian. This is the JCB Lifestyle channel. Back again with another video, another unboxing and review. This is the Pixel Fold, Google's first foldable edition. This is now. Okay, let's start. So first thing we want to talk about is the price. So the price of this Pixel Fold is $1,799 retail. However, as of today, they have a Black Friday special, and you can save $400, leaving the price at $1,399, which is a great price. This colorway is Obsidian, or in other words, a very charcoal black variant of the phone. The material on this is matte glass, which is very nice on the touch. And it includes a polished aluminum around the edges, as you can see, and around the housing of the camera unit. This currently runs on Android 14, and Google promises 5 years of updates all the way up to Android 19. All right, let's get started. So the first thing I want to talk about is Google's Tensor chip. It's called a G2 chip, and it runs very fast. And it makes this phone very smooth in all of its transitions, and it makes the colors pop, and it runs smoothly and fast, as you can imagine. Okay, let's talk about the display. So the display has 408 ppi. This is a 7.6-inch tablet screen, and if you close it, this is a 5.8-inch front screen, which is very comfortable and looks very normal, as a normal phone could be. Closed, this is a width of 1/2 inch, and the weight on this is 10 ounces. And I'll tell you, it's very light on the touch, and it's very compact, and it can fit in your pocket, and you can hardly notice it. Okay, this has a 12 gigabytes in RAM. And this model has 256 gigs of storage. All right, let's transition over to the camera. So this Google Pixel Fold has 3 cameras on the back. So the first camera is a 48 megapixel quad PD. The second one is a 10.8 megapixel ultra wide camera. And the third is the 10.8 megapixel dual PD telephoto camera. All right, let's go to the front. So the front camera here is 9.5 megapixel dual PD11. Okay, and then there's a inner camera, which is housed on the top right here. See if you can see that. This camera is 8 megapixels inside, so you can take decent selfies throughout the day while you have it open. All right, continuing on the camera, let's talk about the video. So the rear camera has a 4K video recording at 30 frames per second, 1080p video recording at 30 frames per second. Okay, the front camera has 4K at 30 frames per second, 1080, at 30 to 60 frames per second. And then the inner front only does 1080p, 30 frames per second. Battery life. So Google says this battery is a 4,821 milliamp battery. It can last up to 24 hours, according to Google. Up to 72 hours with extreme battery saver, just if you're in a pinch, so 3 days of battery. And it has fast charging and wireless charging. And that's pretty much the description in the tech specs on the Google Pixel Fold. Okay, so since this is a Google Pixel, let's look at a few photos. So as you can see, the inner screen, the wide screen, fills the entire screen up and down. There's a bezel that's about a little bit less than 1/4 of an inch across the entire plane here. But as you can see, these photos, blown up full screen, pretty much takes up the entire screen. And this is me taking some photos of the actual model I'm using. Okay, so let's talk about Facebook. So this is what you're going to get when you get into Facebook. A full screen display, and you can do it horizontally. However, at the current moment, if you do it at landscape mode, you only show a portion of the app and it doesn't go full screen. You can tap each side to either center it or move it to the left or move it to the right for one-handed operation and use. However, Google is updating the latest Android 14 to make this entire Facebook app and all the other apps that may be not full screen, create the aspect ratio. Let's switch it up to vertically. And as you can see, it does full screen. So there you go. And it's a smooth display. Okay. So let's take a look at Instagram, shall we? Okay, same thing with Instagram. Full screen vertically. All right, let's test it out landscape. Once again, landscape has the tap action. But nonetheless, it's still Instagram. Okay, let's look at it closed. Looks like a normal phone and Instagram. Perfect. All right, so let's look at X, formerly known as Twitter. So from the front, closed camera screen, you can see it's fully works as normal. All right, let's open it up. Now this app is full screen. Then you switch it over vertically, full screen. How about that? Nice work. All right, let's look at YouTube and experience some of the sounds and see how loud this model can go.
The only foldable engineered by Google. Sleek, beautiful, and ultra premium. It turns ordinary moments into extraordinary photographs. With a triple rear camera, 5x telephoto lens, and 20x super res zoom. So you get photos that are detailed and true to life. What previously required.
Okay, and then here is the location of the speaker on the bottom. And then there's a speaker on the top, so two speakers on the top and bottom. All right, so let's talk about multitasking. So as you saw, I pulled up using the gesture motion to get to the multitasking window. So I have a couple options using a Google's purest Android phone. This is what they give you. You have an option to either tap this green here and you can take a screenshot, or they give you a link so you can copy the link and share it with these options below. But for the sake of this video, we're going to do some multitasking. So I'm going to split it and then add another app. And this is what it looks like when you multitask using X and then YouTube. And this is what it looks like vertically. Almost a computer feel. If you halfway open it, it does look like a laptop, a miniature laptop, which I think the reason why Google chose this aspect ratio for this foldable, unlike the Samsung Galaxy Fold, which is more of a skinny bar. And then the other models that are coming out are a little bit taller, but this is more compact. As you can see, it takes up the entire, my whole hand can almost corral it, which is great because it's easy for me to type in text and do other things with one hand. Okay, so let's look at a few other things. So with the multitasking from the front screen, the same ordeal. You could select this one and you can select the options. You can either split the screen, and let's use YouTube again, and this is what it looks like. You can also do it landscape. There we go. And you can play.
What previously required a DSLR and a tripod,
Okay, copy and paste.
standard on the Pixel Fold.
I mean, you can pretty much do anything with this.
Stars with astrophotography.
Okay, so to wrap this up, let's talk about the things that I do like about this phone. So the first thing I like about it is the feel. This feels ultra premium. It's compact in the hand. The screen looks like wet paint as far as the pixels and the photos. I mean, your experience in this Google, just like the Google Pixel 8 Pro, is very fluid, very smooth. It's very fast, and it's got the latest Android 14, which is amazing. I mean, this is the truest form of Android, so I don't expect anything less. I love the fact that they have the call screening feature. I mean, it's like a personal secretary when I'm using this phone. And I love the fact that I can just screen out calls whenever I want to. Let's talk about some of the dislikes. Now, Google claimed that it does last for 24 hours, and I do think it does that. However, I never really test the limits of it because it would take forever to charge. But one of the things that I did notice when using this particular model on the Fold, that battery life runs out very, very fast. So when I wake up in the morning, I get on and play maybe a hand or two in games. It gives me, it runs down to 15%. So I'm already at 85% just walking out the house. And it's a clear, stark difference when I have my Galaxy Fold Z Fold 5. I do the same game and I'm playing, you know, about the same amount of time, but my battery doesn't run out. And also the fact that whenever it charges, it really heats up. And Google has tried to address this issue by introducing the Google Pixel Stand 2, which is a fan that is on the stand that cools the phone while it's charging, which indicates that they understand that there is an issue with the charging of this phone. And lastly, when you do wireless charging, I have a lot of wireless set up in my house, a lot of wireless ports. It takes absolutely forever to charge this phone using a wireless charging unit. It doesn't matter if you have fast charging, if it's 30 watts, you know, 67 watts. I wish they could add the functionality that OnePlus utilizes, where it can fast charge less than 30 minutes, get a full battery. But I believe Google may be doing that later on. But as of now, and maybe the second generation will get better with the battery life. It's very terrible. But it's a beautiful phone. I enjoy the heck out of it. I've had this over 2 weeks, and I can't complain with the experience other than the battery. All right, well, this is another JB production from the JCB Lifestyle. Please subscribe and like. There'll be more videos coming. Thank you.